We're testing to make sure audio works. Fuck off.
Does anybody left alive in the chat? For the love of God. If you're one of our audio listeners, we've just recorded 20 minutes of silence. Which, I mean, we've done this before. It's usually not planned, but what are you going to do?
It was top tier silence, though. It was top tier.
I mean, on that end. Buju, can you hear us now? Hey, we have voices. All right. Quick intro for the audio listeners, because why not?
Those might only be the voices in my head that he's hearing.
Take
Are they
two.
Screaming?
Buju said it's the best silence she's heard in a while, though. So, I mean, that's something to be said. All right, well, let's just do the loud man at arms thing. Fuck it. Joe Rogan, and, sorry again this week. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the fucking show. Tonight I have with me, as always, Ryan, GrnEyedMusikLvr, stopping by to say hi, and the one and only Young Khan. We're here again. We've been here. We've been talking to each other like a half hour now.
It's like Groundhog Day.
I mean, I feel like we've done this a bit.
Oh, for the love of God. Okay. I have no idea where to go from here because I completely derailed myself.
We can only go up.
We
can only go up.
Oh no, we can totally turn this around and fuck it up again.
Yeah.
I tell you what, though, Con, Man at Arms was actually really nervous to go and talk to you.
Talk to me where?
At Guardian Con.
Why?
I don't know. I mean,
why is
muscles?
everybody so nervous to talk to me?
Muscles? Maybe? I don't know. Your deadlift?
I don't have a bad attitude.
No, you don't have a bad attitude. You just have kind of badass hamstrings and tuchus ass. Is that? That's fine to say. Whatever.
I do work on it.
You do.
I put in the hours.
You do.
It might also just be the talent. The guy is, one of the better artists I've seen in a long time. That might have scared Rick a little bit too.
I mean,
I'm pretty sure that definitely scared him. My pen action is just too phenomenal.
I mean, I'll put my ass up against anyone's any day of the week. My ass is fucking phenomenal.
Well, your pen action on point.
Has anybody seen Rick's latest drawing? It's literally a stick figure standing there holding a cup or a beer.
The
shower curtain, right? You seen it?
The shower.
That was Rick's best attempt.
His magnum opus?
Yes.
I mean, I captured the eyes perfectly. I'm just throwing that out.
Shower whiskey.
Shower scotch.
That's what it was. That was my bad.
That's a real thing.
I also posted a waiver that says I'm okay with log power slave bursting into my shower as long as he's bringing me scotch.
I mean, I'll co-sign that one. I'll co-sign that one.
It's a trade-off. It's like there's a grown man here looking at me naked, but he has a glass of scotch, so I'm scared and confused at the same time.
But also happy.
But also happy. It's like this dude in the flannel shirt just brought me some scotch. It's a win-win-win. Anyway, well, I mean, I kind of blew my introduction wad on the silence, so you guys got questions. Why doesn't somebody kick off with questions?
Green, go ahead. You apparently prepared and shit for tonight.
Oh, fuck. I'm just improving. I mean, okay. So, Con went to Guardian Con. You did not get the tattoo, though. That was one thing.
Tattoo, no.
That was one of the things. Like, Cole and I got the tattoo. Issa Cole? I don't know if you knew that one was happening.
Oh, yeah, I knew that was happening. She was talking about it, like, days before.
Oh my god, she was so stinking excited for that. But it makes me a little sad. Like you said you were gonna get a ghost, but which one?
Oh, the iron shell is gonna be a tiny one. I'm gonna blend it in with the. I have leaves and cherry blossoms in this arm that it blend into the waves. That's like a little accoutrement.
Nice.
But, I'd had no idea I'd be that busy all weekend, and I came alone, so.
Con, was that your first con? Your first Guardian Con?
No, it's my third. It's my first time having a table, though.
Okay.
Yeah. Was not prepared for the action I received.
You were swamped. You and just about every artist booth was really swamped.
Everyone else had help, though. I feel like I came unprepared. I already got lots of well, Havoc was there. Havoc stood in for me.
Nice.
He's my roommate. But I already got lots of volunteers for next year. I think Buju's going to be a volunteer. I
That's
think
awesome.
Havoc. I'm going to bring Havoc in, and I'm going to break one of his knees so he's on crutches again. It's going to be a good time.
Oh,
shit.
crap. So, when you were at Guardian Con this year, what was the thing that stood out to you the most about just being there in difference from last year? Because I didn't make it, so this is why I'm asking the question. I was there last year, and I just I couldn't schedule that because my wife and I had a vacation planned, and we'd done it before we knew when Guardian Con was. So I'm just curious, like, what was the biggest difference you noticed?
The biggest difference is I didn't get to see anything because I was stuck to a booth. That was that was one of the biggest things. The second biggest thing was I took and signed a lot of pictures. I signed a lot of stuff. I think I signed my name like more times I have in my entire life on checks. So I think I signed like close to 1,000 things. It feels like I was signing everything.
You guys were pretty close to some of the other big names as far as artists go, though, weren't you? You guys were back in that back line.
Yeah, I was in the back alley with Marcus and Cobb. I mean, we all know each other pretty well.
Did they set it up as like a artist row again, like they did last year?
Kind of like that, but it was spread out over the entire convention floor. Like they had Watermelon XO about the front door, and I was like, why is he so far away? Like you couldn't like run to his booth; it was so far away. So the alley portion was a little bit confusing because it's not really an alley. It wasn't exactly an alley.
Okay.
But it was kind of like that. It was like a vendor alley, I guess. I'm not sure. I wouldn't call it exactly an artist alley. Because next to me I had like a podcast, and next to me, like behind us, were like Full Sail Armada. Like it wasn't an artist alley per se. It was just lots of different vendor booths. So
okay.
It was really spread out weird though.
Yeah.
All right. So normally, the way that we do our podcast, the first thing we like to do is kind of ask the guests, where do they come from? Like, in your case, what would be like some of your inspirations? How did you get into making art? How did you get into Destiny? And we skipped all over that shit since we're 28 minutes in. So let's reset and let's hear your story, Con, and we'll give Green and Rick a minute to think of some questions if you don't mind. Like, fill us in. How did you get into the art? What brought you into Destiny? All the standard crap I'm sure you've been asked a million times.
Okay, easy questions. What brought me into art? Okay, SB Cobb One's Instagram was a big inspiration to me getting back into doing art. You think it would be answered be a lot sooner than that, but I hadn't done any art from 25 until about 34, 35 years old. So I took a decade break in between, like actually, picking up my pencil and doing something, and 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago now. So seeing Cobb One's art on Instagram was a huge inspiration, and then like getting into Destiny I did that first, and that was just me playing a demo. Like, oh, this is pretty fun. I don't do shooters really. I liked Borderlands, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll try this. And then it had like a sick addiction, so I fell down the podcast hole of Guardian Radio, and then like Warlock School, and Mulehorn Gaming, which was like something is something else now. So I fell down that hole, and then I found out, oh yeah, there's a Twitch thing you can do. So I kind of like I didn't know about Twitch until way after, and then I started doing art for like podcast hosts, and then somebody asked me one day, "Can you make emotes?" And I was like, "What? Emote for what? What's an emote?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can draw
like a mote of light."
Yeah, I can draw. I can do that. And that was 3,000 emotes ago. So
yeah, you've done so many. Is there anybody out there who has as many emotes done at this point? Because
I don't think anybody's keeping track like I am. I count the files, but I'm not. I might have like a sick addiction to keeping track of the numbers, but there has to be somebody out there close. I mean, I got into the game really late. Really late. I just I don't know. Some people like to shoot a perfect shot, and I'm like, just shoot all the shots all the time.
I mean, you have your commissions almost always seem open. That's the thing that is impressive to me, is that you never stop working ever.
Oh well, the electricity bill always needs paid, and the mortgage always needs paid. So there'll be no closed commissions. I don't like closing commissions. I mean, if I live, at home, oh, you know
Right.
what? I'm gonna take this week off. There'll be no commissions for the next 2 weeks. No, I got to pay my mortgage and my medical bills, and I can't commission. You can close commissions? No, I gotta keep eating that. I know. I don't close my guts off to food, so no, commissions will not be closing anytime soon.
When I first became aware of Khan, it was actually standing next to her in Beard Grizzly. It was guarding Khan year before last. We were
Really?
in line, yeah. So
That was
we
my
were
first
chit chatting. I was talking to Beard. You and I had not really met yet. Like, I think that was actually the first time we've spoken or made aware of each other. And I pointed over at Khan and I go, I know that dude. And Big Grizzly goes, yeah. I go, oh, you know him too? It's like, yeah, that's young Khan. I go, oh, I thought that was Mike Sellers from the Washington Redskins. Because Mike Sellers lives in Tampa and actually knows my wife, but I only met Mike once before. So I was like, oh, Mike's here in line with me. He must be going to the charity thing. And Beard's like, no, that's John Khan. I'm like, oh, that's not Mike Sellers? And he just looks at me, and Beard has this really disapproving face. If you've never seen it.
He has resting disapproving face, though, to be fair.
Yeah. But I started following you at that point and just paying attention to like your whole vibe and what you do. So obviously there's a journey to get you to this point in your life, which I'm sure you've told that story before and people that follow you already know that story. But like one of the questions from Twitter, because I'm just going to jump to the gun, that is like, how do you get motivated in the morning to get up, work out, and then it's like you go right to work? It's like every time you tweet about something, every time I see you're doing something, it's like you're doing something all day, it seems like. Mm-hmm. So where does that motivation start from?
I guess first off, I don't believe in motivation. That's probably why. I don't believe in motivation. I don't wait to be motivated to like do anything. I just know the things that I want to do, and then I just pursue those things. It's like if you get up in the morning, I tell this story all the time. You don't get up, go to sleep at night and feel motivated to brush your teeth. You just brush your teeth. You don't think about how motivated. I just need to get up the motivation to go in there, put some water in my mouth and brush my teeth. No, you just brush your teeth like an adult. So how are you motivated to make so much art? I want to make art. But don't you feel like not making it sometimes? All the time. But I really want to make the art. So there's a conundrum in hand. So I just make the art.
The other side of that coin, you'd really like to get paid for it too, I'm sure.
Right.
I mean, I like to get paid for it, but I make stuff for myself. Also, I do like, I put in about an hour a day of this stuff for myself.
I'm sitting here admiring your tattoos, and I'm wondering, did you design all of your ink, or is somebody collaborated with you, or like?
Oh, about a quarter of it. So about a quarter of it. I think I did like my chest piece on my right side up to my shoulder. My buddy did my back piece. He did like the design for my right bicep, and the first one I got on my chest I got off the wall when I was 18 with my first unemployment check.
As you do.
Priorities. Yeah.
Living the dream.
All right.
Did you ever go to school for any of the art?
Oh, I went to Kent State for one semester and got kicked out for graphic design. So yes, I did go to school.
That's the way to do it as an artist, though, right? Just piss everybody off because your art is so revolutionary.
It's a very, very low. They have a very low graduating class, and they lose like 60% the first year.
Damn.
Or something like that from the program. And that was a graphic design. It was nothing like creative about it. It was mind-numbingly boring, and I see why it didn't last. See why it didn't last.
Holy shit! I got kicked out of graphic art. Like, really?
All my teachers, look at me now, Ma. Look at me now.
No kidding. So I know
I'm
that
not even
you
gonna
do.
lie. The whole time
I
you
was
tell
just
the story, I'm like, what did he do? How bad
Right.
was his
I-
graphic design
I
to
want
get kicked
I
out?
want to know why you got kicked out, but at
Just
the
a
same
comic.
time, I don't
No,
know that
no,
you.
no, no. Shh.
Oh, it was mind-numbing projects. It was like sorting. It was graphic design stuff. Like you would take, you know, I forget what it's called, like block text, and you would arrange it on paper, like in layouts. That was the first class I took. So
Oh
you like,
God.
set up like a magazine, like in hierarchy of like sizes.
Yeah.
Um, and which is all fine and good. And I mean, it plays. I mean, it's super important. It's super
Right.
important stuff. Um, uh, but I couldn't handle it.
I mean, if you're gonna go work at a newspaper, yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably important.
I mean,
Well, where are
I've
the?
learned those
What
things
is,
now. I'm not great at them, but
what is this newspaper you speak of?
exactly
Why?
what newspaper.
Yeah.
So good thing out of that business. That's probably going to be a dead art in about 30 seconds.
You know what though? So many artists that I've like gone to school with have never been able to make money off of their art because they've got funneled into teaching jobs or anything else like that, and they don't make time for it. They don't make it a priority.
Oh yeah, my buddy is he teaches at Kent State, so yeah, he's a graphic design teacher.
Yeah.
So I'm not. He's like lead singer in a band, so he's not. I don't think he's doing art anymore either.
Dang. It's rough.
Yeah,
That was
I
the same
mean,
reason I stopped being an English major. It was like, okay, either I'm gonna be a famous novelist or a high school English teacher.
mm, mm,
Yeah, I'm changing majors immediately.
mm.
Like the deck is stacked against me.
Life throws you some funny curveballs like that. You're like, oh yeah, I'll do this, and
Mhm.
and like, you're gonna do art for a living? How are we gonna do art for a living? I don't know, but I'm gonna do it. I don't know how. I still, when people ask me how do you become a full-time artist, I'm like, I don't remember. I don't know how I got here. I just said yes a lot, and then people kept asking for things. So that's the one fun thing about being an entrepreneur. You never know when when
The origin
bus
story is
gonna
kind of
stop.
the origin story is kind of skewed. Like, when did it happen? No.
It was literally that moment where he was like, "Can you make emotes?" And I was like, "What is an emote?" And now I'm here.
Mhm.
And that's the long and the short of it.
I mean, just saying yes seems
Just
like your
saying
whole
yes.
motto.
Yeah, that's why everything you see on my Twitter never looks the same. Like, can you do this? Yeah, I can do that. Can you do motion graphics? I mean, not yet, but I can try it. Not, and that led me to doing the Rare Drop Awards at Guardian Con. I was the lead graphic and motion designer, so
That's awesome.
just saying yes a lot gets you the experience you need. And if you just say yes and are motivated enough, and when I say motivated, you don't rely on your feelings. Don't rely on your feelings to do anything. Just do the things. And if you really want to get into a profession, just do it until you hate it, and then do it some more until you love it again. That's my best advice. Yeah.
Okay.
This is total weird segue. Is that how you got into
Do
like
it.
the martial arts and the lifting and whatnot? Is just you just got yourself beaten up, so you just kept fighting back type thing, or got
Ooh,
into
I got
it?
into martial arts because of movies, like literally just bad
Bruce
kung fu
Lee?
movies. Bruce Lee, lots of Shaw Brothers, like bad, like 1970s, 80s, bad dubbing action movies. When I was a kid, like
Kung Fu Theater.
that Kung Fu Theatre, I loved it. Like I have like over 50, 60 movies on like VHS that I haven't ported over to DVD. I still got in like 30, 40 DVDs.
That was like when
It's
I was
like,
Go ahead.
yeah, no,
I was gonna
this-
say like when I was a kid, like that's how you knew cartoons was over for today, because like they used to have the Saturday morning cartoons, and then Kung Fu Theater would start. And it's like, oh, okay, it's over. It's lunchtime. And as soon as Kung Fu Theater was over, you went to get a sandwich.
That's about it. Just bad movies got me into doing it. Like literally, just watching bad movies got me into doing martial arts. And I've been doing it for about, let's see, about 20, 25 years. I did full contact fighting for a little bit, competitor for about over a decade, probably close to like 100 trophies and medals.
Dang. What discipline?
Oh, I started off doing karate when I was like 10. Then I moved into doing and Shuaijiao, and then around my 20s, I got into Pencak Salat and Kuntal Salat, which is like a branch of Chinese Indonesian martial arts. And then I got back into doing a softer style in my 20s, my mid 20s. So I was doing Bagua, Chin Tai Chi, Xingyi.
I understood karate.
Karate, yeah.
Yeah,
karate.
you lost me at karate. But I trust you.
Let me Google.
Are
the
these
rest of this.
okay? Because I mean, I could talk about boxing. Are these kung fu disciplines?
Mm-hmm.
Okay then. So note to self: bring a gun.
Bring a gun. I was on the rifle team also. I got expert rating, or I had an expert rating. It's probably not so good anymore.
AKA,
love
you're
this.
fucked, Rick.
I love this fucking guy.
My expert rate is probably shit now. I mean, it's not as good as it used to be.
It never goes away.
The breathing is still there. I still got the breathing, but
It never goes away. I shot for the first time in like 5 years a while back, and I was like 3 rounds, and I went, I can just go home.
This is it. I win.
It's like I can just go home. Nothing has gone away. It's fine. It's just muscle memory. Like your brain just picks it up. It's like the same with archery. Like once you learn how to shoot a bow and arrow, your brain it's in your mind. It has nothing to do with your body. You just have to be able to have the strength to be able to pull it back. If you can pull it back, your mind is as sharp as the day you put it down the first time. But I digress. So how do you go from human death machine to super positive dude that draws cartoons? Like, how is that?
Yeah.
I know how you became the cartoon guy. What was the transition point to this? Because that's a stretch question mark.
I'm not sure if I'm super positive guy. I'm not like somebody that's overly positive for no reason. I don't know.
No, you're not faking anyway. It's just like you don't dwell. I've never seen you like.
Oh yeah, I got no time to dwell on stuff. I mean,
yeah, you just like I ain't got time to talk about this, and you just like
Yeah,
I've been
it'll
off in your
pass.
chat, and like somebody says some shit, you just like I ain't got no time for that. So you move right on. It's like just
It's
that
very,
comes from like
very
being
zen
sick.
like.
I got
That's
really
a good
sick
word.
a couple years ago. I came down with a rare muscle disease called myasthenia gravis that put me in the hospital for a bit.
Called
Oh,
too
shit.
big of muscles? What the fuck?
Oh, it's I shrank down to 160 pounds. Like I couldn't. It's at one point I couldn't control this eye. I had to wear an eye patch, and then I couldn't swallow water or food, and then my hand stopped working, and then I couldn't like really walk straight. So I had to go in for surgery a few months after that. I was like 220 bodybuilding, and I like shrank down to like 160. They had to well, first they had to put a pipe in my neck down to my heart and pull plasma out called plasmapheresis. So they swapped plasma out for new plasma, and that made my eye open up. My hands started working like within like up 15 minutes. So your body is much more strange than you ever thought it could be. So after that, I got out and I started working out again. I couldn't do one push up when I got out because my muscles had atrophied over the course of like 6-7 months. And slowly I got myself back up to. And plus, it's a muscle disease where you work out more, your muscles start to fail more. It's a disease like that. So I'm in remission now, but it took a little bit.
obviously.
Is it is it your body not able to cope with the toxins? Is that what happens, or what's going on?
There's a chemical in your that helps your nerves speak to your muscles.
Right.
So it's like a little bit of it's called cholesterase, and it was being destroyed by my immune system. So I was playing video games, like playing like right before Taken King came out. I'd be playing, and then my thumb would stop working, and then my index finger would stop working. Like I couldn't like force it to move. They stopped moving on together. I had to give it time for the chemical to build back up. They found it out much later what it was. It's a mimic disease, so it looked like 4 or 5 other diseases. It could have been Lyme disease. It could have been Guillain-Barré. It could have been Miller-Fisher syndrome. So that led me to when things happen, I'm just like, oh, this is okay. I mean, it'll be fine tomorrow. At one point, you almost couldn't swallow food or water, or see out of one eye, or walk. So
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as that shit.
everything else is minuscule. Oh, the client jetted on me. They ghosted me. You know, like tomorrow's another day, and time makes more shit. I don't know. I don't have time to. I got very limited time. I gotta get all this done now. So that fuels my fury to like make art all the time and do the things I love all the time, and be as happy as I can all the time. Because just because something bad happens to you doesn't mean that has control over you.
Right.
Like your perspective shapes your reality. Like I'm not somebody that doesn't. I don't ignore when things happen, but when things do happen, I deal with it and I move on. I don't deal with it like, and then this little bitch said to me, and then I was talking about this one incident that happened, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks, a month ago, 2 months ago. It's literally, it does me no good, and that person no good. That literally has more power over me than I have power over myself. So when I have something happen to me, I was like, this is sad. But you know what? I got coffee. I got shit. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah. Did somebody teach you that mentality, or did something lead you to have that mentality besides just the terminal disease or the muscle dystrophy disease type thing?
Well, that and I'm a big reader. If you guys can, check out my background. Um, all those none of those books are fiction. All those books are nonfiction, like books on philosophy, martial arts, um, history. So a lot of that stuff is what fuels my mentality. Like I'm a huge fan of um, thought in general and how things are shaped and formed, and it just became and it came down to a sharper point after the incident, and things became a lot more clear. Like just listening to Alan Watts or Jiddu Krishnamurti or stuff like that
Mm-hmm.
really like put things in a more sharp perspective than they had been before.
Who's your favorite philosopher? Just random ass question, but
Probably Alan Watts
oh yeah,
because he's hilarious. He is the anti-guru.
the modern philosopher
Mm. He lived in, I think he passed away in the 70s.
compared to Aristotle and whatnot. He's modern.
Yeah, he's modern.
I'm a Hunter S. Thompson dude, so I really can't participate in this.
I'm just sitting here feeling totally inadequate, so whatever.
You're the tech guy. This is fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Which you've done a horrible job tonight, so why don't you sit there and shut the fuck up?
Okay, so something that we didn't get into
Go.
during the silence is you used to be a bartender.
I used to be a bartender.
What's the craziest bartender story you have?
Now I want to know because I
I
live
can
in the
play
same
this game.
area
Go.
where he bartended at, but I'm sure he doesn't want to share those stories.
Oh, Chagrin Falls.
No, I mean like what were the names of the places you? But
Oh, I worked at Hyde Park. I worked at Jekyll's Kitchen. I didn't bartend there, but I opened up the Roadhouse over in Willoughby
okay,
on 91. I was there for like 4 years before I went into teaching.
Oh, you taught too? Jeez.
I taught phys ed, yeah, for
Oh,
3
nice.
years. Between 2008 and
Can-
2011.
I would hire you for this job.
can we do this? Can we just start with what the fuck haven't you done, and what
I
are you
can go over
not
things
good
I
at?
have done. Was construction is the family business, so roofing, plumbing, drywall, stuff like that. And then I got into menial stuff like delivery. I delivered for Pizza Hut. Then I got into like Rite Aid, Walmart, stuff like that. I was a European baker for a year. I did it on the West Side. I was head baker. I was promoted to head baker in like 4 months. Then I was baking for Giant Eagle. Then I became the baker at the Roadhouse. And became the prep cook, the meat cutter, the cold prep, the server. I became a server. I was dish. I did salads. I think I did everything there except for manage and bartend. And from there, I started high school for 3 years in downtown Cleveland. And after that, I became a bartender.
Okay,
As you do after teaching, because
Yeah,
You do,
I
because
can sympathize.
It's kind of
sadly, after
disgusting.
3 years of that, I made more money. I worked. I ran 3 programs at school. I taught the chess club. I taught the powerlifting club. I was co-managing the powerlifting club. and we had a philosophy club in the art room. So I did all those for like 3 or 4 days a week. So I was at the school probably
Hmm.
50 hours a week, probably.
Yeah.
When it's all said and done, that was like driving my kids home, live by me, and no one will come get them. So I still love my kids. I still love them. I became like the godfather of one of their kids after they got out of high school.
Nice.
I do. I miss teaching.
So sorry for interrupting, but Green, you were asking your strangest bartending story, or
Yeah, just the craziest one, because that's kind of always the go-to as far as if you've bartended before, because there's always some idiot that does something stupid that makes your night.
every night.
Oh, I worked in a pretty nice place, so it wasn't that bad. It was a martini
Nice.
and wine bar. I think the strange thing
Ah,
that happened to me was I was almost sexually assaulted in the men's bathroom.
I mean,
I
was it a man or a woman?
No, it was a woman. She approached me in the men's room late one night.
I would
Crazy.
sexually assault you in the bathroom for fuck's sake. God damn it! Everything he's done.
It was a crazy night.
look, look at that man. Tell me you wouldn't do it.
No. But I mean, I have friends you can talk to that maybe you can explore some feelings. This is fine.
It's fine. Life is short. Life is short, my friend.
Yeah, dude, just hear him.
Regret nothing.
He just gave us a lecture about reach for your dreams and go for everything.
You should.
Yeah.
Like literally.
is there
Yeah,
something left?
no
on
time
your
to
list?
waste. No, I don't have a list.
You don't have any dreams or list of things that you want to get done but you haven't done yet.
I just want to be happy.
Mhm.
That changes from day to day. I mean, you might have something. I probably want to visit the UK. I'll probably do that next year. I mean, I'll just do that next year. That's I got the business going well enough. I can actually leave the country when I want to.
There you go.
So, but that wasn't. I mean, that's just me visiting the people that play Destiny in the UK. That's all I'm gonna do.
I mean, that's kind of where we're all at this point. It's like we just want to hang out with our Destiny friends.
Yeah, I mean, literally, I have the best job, and I'm doing the thing that I love to do every single day, every single moment.
Mhm.
I literally could not ask for any more. And my body still works, so I can't. I like goals are fine and good. My only goals are to put out good product. And slowly, I didn't realize this until at GuardianCon that I've been the fire under people's ass to start doing the thing they've been talking about doing because
Mhm.
talk is cheap and talk is
Now,
really
what
cheap.
was it? It was it surreal, like people coming up to you and asking for autographs, wanting to take pictures, wanting to share
It
their
was
stories with you.
so freaking weird. And people were like, they didn't want to come and speak to me. I was like, you just seem so, I don't know, standoffish. No, not standoffish. You seem like when you see me online, I don't know. They think I don't know. I don't. I guess
What
the camera seems or the social thing makes you look more. I don't know, important than people think you are. I don't know what it is. Maybe
intimidating?
that
Is that it?
intimidating.
I mean,
Maybe.
so a weird experience that I had last year was I had a customer of mine go down to GuardianCon with me, and he was a little intimidated by. I was with another podcast that was down there, and he was intimidated by the guys that were on the podcast, and he was intimidated by, guys like Fallout walking around just, to go up
Mhm.
and say hi or whatever. Even though he's like, I'm a big fan, I know who you are. He's just was a little intimidated, and it took him about a day and a half to get comfortable with it before,
Oh,
before he could go, okay, I finally, settled in, I feel comfortable, you know. So I just wonder if people are just naturally intimidated. Like they're not saying it like you're intimidating, they're just a little scared,
could be.
you
I
know.
mean, I'm the same person I am on stream.
But but you
Probably even in person.
but not to be, I don't want this to sound negative, but you may have a higher profile than a lot of those guys. You might be more
Um,
recognizable. I mean, I looked at your Twitter account earlier, and you had almost 10,000 followers. So you might have just that slight notch profile wise.
I hope I killed all that during GC, because I was talking to people and they were like, "Well, you just seem so important." I'm like, "You're not more important than I am. I'm just a guy up here drinking coffee at night and drawing stuff."
And
That doesn't make you special. I'm just literally just drawing tiny pictures.
and that's how I think
You could too.
I think that's how most people with some version of celebrity, are like in your head. You're like, I'm just a normal guy. You're just a normal guy. We're just two guys standing in the same room. But to that person on the other end that has a Twitter account and is one of your followers, he's like, holy shit, this guy's a celebrity in their head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I hope I literally slaughtered all those expectations.
I mean, you might have you. I mean, I'm sure there's people that walked away from there and went, "Oh my god, he's really cool." And then there's guys that walked away from there and were like, still intimidated, still whatever you did, you're not going to convince them.
Maybe not. I mean, I talk to people like, so I was talking to some people who are like, I'm trying to give you an out to walk away. I'm like, give me an out to walk away. I'm just happy anybody's talking to me at all.
And
I'm just happy to be out of the house. I don't know what you're talking about.
And isn't that the coolest that would to be in that room and have people recognize you and appreciate what you do and actually come up and say that and say hey man, I really like whatever about you, and actually get the chance to interact with them. I mean, that's one of the
That's
coolest.
really nice. The nicest thing about one was signing things. That was like literally 3 years ago when I became my first Guardian Con. I was just passing out my cards for the first time because I started to make I was gonna make that's my little business on the side where I can make it a point to buy groceries for a couple weeks, and like going in the third year I'm like, how did I get a booth? And now I'm like I'm doing like an event design and I'm talking on a panel at Guardian Con. This is like, it makes no sense to me, like mathematically or on a timeline at all. But then being there and then talking to people, like I was on a panel with Jay Sniperton and Snaps and like Hunter Wild and Sub Daily and Gump, and I'm like, and I still feel out of place. And I think I want to keep that feeling that I'm out of place, like I don't belong up there.
Stay humble kind of thing.
I guess so. I mean, maybe it's just my age catching up with me, but maybe it's in my 20s, it'd probably be affecting a little bit different. But now I'm like, I'm at the late end of my 30s. It's kind of like, this is just something that's happening. I put a lot of work in towards this. Well, I didn't know where this was going to lead to. I just put a lot of work in, and somehow I ended up at this point. Like I didn't map out a long drawn out plan of like, next year, bet your sweet ass and be one of the designers for Guardian Con. No, it was kind of like, next year, bet your sweet ass and drink a beer at Guardian Con. That was probably my last thing. That was letting us in.
Aside from Destiny community, where else do you do anything else with other games or whatever, or is it just pretty much Destiny?
I do art for lots of different streamers, mainly.
Okay.
The stuff I do for Destiny, I feel like it's not as much as I used to when I first got started. So I know Cobb does a lot of Destiny work mainly. That's mainly he's known for. But I've done a ton of Fortnite work, a ton, probably a couple hundred emotes just in
wow.
Some of the largest Fortnite streamers like High Distortion and King Richard and those guys, and I've done work for those streamers. So the work I do varies from client to client. I've spanned dozens of games at this point.
So you've gotten out of just being a Destiny guy, because that was kind of the question I was leading to. Was it seems like the Destiny community specifically will, when they recognize somebody has talent or recognize somebody wants to be involved in any way, they make it a goal to grab you, bring you in, and propel you up faster than most other groups and games that I've ever seen.
I think so. I feel like that's true. It's people say it's the best community ever. This is literally the most magical. When I first loaded up Destiny, I didn't think this game's gonna change my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And when I got home from the hospital and I couldn't even play Crucible, I could drive around in patrol. I could just hang out with some of my clan buddies. That part to me was the life-changing part about Destiny. It wasn't me making the art for it. My love for the community doesn't spring from the art. It springs from the game. The art comes right afterwards because it leans on like so many things I love in science fiction, but just the camaraderie that happened like during my illness. Like, didn't have to hang out with me and talk for hours in patrol. Who wants to play patrol for hours? Farm some essence with me,
Oh, Rick had a question for you tonight about comp. Your, I'll let Rick go for it, but I wanted to kind of remind him you had a question.
Oh no, I heard you play solo comp to relax.
Solo comp to relax.
Is it just
do you not see the irony in this statement?
No.
I want to know, is it just the getting into the zone that you get into that's relaxing? So many people
it's a higher challenge. It's a higher challenge.
Okay.
Because I don't care if I win or lose. I just like to play well. So you put yourself in those situations, like it's like the hyperbolic time chamber. You jump in and you're weighing yourself down, maybe the worst team on Destiny. And you try to make that shit into something else. Like you try to make it
right.
Try to get in there and we're gonna make this shit happen. 38-0? Oh, okay. We're gonna get Mercy? Okay, we'll try to get. I mean, that's the fun of it. I mean, winning and losing, it's just a video game. I got my Lunas and my Recluse by accident. I didn't realize I was done with the missions. So you just realize that when you jump in, you're just playing a game and no one's gonna die afterward. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Like I solo pretty much everything now, but that's for completely different reasons. That's more like I have insomnia and I woke up at 3 a.m. Let's fucking go.
What the fuck? That's because you're on Xbox.
That's also a thing.
Is that a pointed shot at Xbox? How dare you, sir?
I don't know.
How dare you, sir?
Comp players on Xbox are pretty intense too.
Wait, Connor, you on Xbox?
Yeah.
Oh, Ryan, fuck off! Ha You have all your friends, but I got a con. I feel vindicated. And none of that shit matters in September anymore anyway, so this is fine.
I know. It's gonna be nice.
I'll be back over there.
On Xbox?
That's where I started. All of D1. I'll actually lose all of my D1 stuff.
The UI is so much better. I'm just throwing that out there.
The UI is easier, but damn, the loading screens suck.
There's a patch for that. It's fine. I read a thing. They're beta testing
not
that.
bad.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like when I do get like a long block of time, like if on the rare occasion I stream, you know what I do during the loading screens?
We don't want to know what you do during loading screens.
I lift weights. I swear to God, I lift weights. I'll sit there and I'll be talking to people, the 5 people I have in chat, and I'm doing dumbbell curls.
Quarter pounder with cheese.
That's after. You have to reload. You have to recuperate your body.
It's true.
You got to feed the demon. But no, I'll like, okay, well, we're loading into a comp game. I'm gonna bang out like 20 push-ups.
All right. Who's got more questions for Khan?
What's the one Twitter question I didn't spoil yet? Because it was.
Oh, now you're gonna ask.
Extensive.
All right.
Well, it was on topic, so I jumped to it because it's my show. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Now what?
Where do you draw your inspirations for backgrounds from, such as the use of different graffiti styles in your artwork, modernized backgrounds, etc.? Do you use any cultural inspirations for your work?
Everywhere. Literally, every place I turn and look, there's always something that intrigues me. So that's just being a good observer. So, I don't know if I can turn my. Can I? Yeah, maybe I can. So, what I do is on my desk and everywhere there are books, and there are art books, and I have my entire board and wall are filled with things. Whenever I walk outside, whenever I see TV, there's always something that there's a motif that I enjoy, and I try to explore it as much as I can. So every day, like you guys check out my Twitter, every day there's like a warm up sketch, and it's
Mhm.
never something that's similar. There's always something a little bit different every day. Like yesterday, I did a Japanese ukiyo-e floating world print of a Kuniyoshi print, and today I did like a blocked out concept art of a hive night. Um, so there are things that always jump out. Like I'll watch Stranger Things. There are the beasts in Stranger Things, or the facial expressions you see on Instagram, or I literally every piece of like content I come across is an inspiration. Even the labeling on some like packaging, I saw like, man, that would be a pretty badass like loading screen, and I'll mock it up and illustrate it and slap it together and see what it looks like. So I don't have like a like one place. There are artists that I like, and there are tons of artists I like, but there are hundreds and hundreds of artists that I like. So
Mhm.
We got a
put
couple
those
of
things in one place. Yeah.
couple of questions rolling in from chat, if you don't mind. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so somebody, I'm going to modify this question. Uh, what do you have a piece of artwork that you are most proud of?
Ooh,
Either
that's easy. The one I just did. The one I did for Guardian Con,
Mhm.
where we raised
Uh,
money. We raised 3 grand for St. Jude with
Yeah,
Cobb.
that was a really cool. It was really nice to see like your guys' distinct styles on each half.
Hmm. And
I
it
I
was
really
like
enjoyed that.
it was still there for me because that's he's one of the inspirations that got me back into doing arts.
Right.
When I asked Cobb like, hey Cobb, you wanna get together and do some stuff for charity? He's like, oh yeah, man, let's do it. And I was like, oh, so I messed this up.
so I'm gonna
Let's not embarrass myself too much.
I'm gonna toss one in. Um, your art, you draw and everything. Does your artwork transcend just the page or the computer screen? Meaning, like, are you somebody that can go out and tag something, or are you somebody who can get um, a little airbrush and go do things? Can you work off of the page at all, or are you somebody that you're, that's your easel right there, your
can you
story?
work
Um,
with canvas?
as of late, probably this has been my main thing. But when I was in high school, I did some tagging, did some throw ups, like some graffiti. I actually had to like burn my con stuff. I got the name con way later. My name in high school, and a little bit after high school, I had to like abandon completely because a lot of guys got arrested around here in Cleveland. So my old tagging name is lost to the stage of history and shall not be repeated again.
Let us never speak of this.
Okay.
And he is a man of multiple medias.
But I did do like I did a mural at when I was in high school at the USA skating rink in Wycliffe with my as a class project. So I've done lots of different things in different places. I just this is easy for me because it's in one place. Like I didn't do digital art. Like I didn't draw with this is my first time. This is my 2.5 years into like using an interface where I can actually draw on a screen.
Mhm.
Because in high school when I used Photoshop, you had to like draw your line work and then like scan it in like at the local like at Cleveland Studio Art used to go down there and like jump in and use the IMAX that were like a single brick and they were like the neon color in the back. You probably kill a man with them.
And the handle
Um,
on the top, yes.
oh yeah, that one. That's the one. That's my first time using in like
Oh my
98, 99.
gosh.
All right. From the chat also, how hard is it to place value on your own art? So
I just do it by time now in time and demand. So when I first got started doing emotes, they were $15 a piece, and that was me making an emote on my laptop with
Mhm.
my trackpad because I didn't have a tablet, and I was determined to make stuff. So like a moron. So that again, it's the hyperbolic time and everything. Doing things super super difficult. And so you draw with the trackpad. So I got into that, and that took about probably 2.5 hours for one emote, 2.5 3 hours. And I was like, I didn't make them that often. So I would like, oh, that's like $5 an hour. It's not terrible. It's $5 an hour. I'm off work. I'm having fun. But as you know, I moved into like it being a business, and I was already like I quit my job. I was like $20 an hour, so $20 an emote. So I was making emotes for and about an hour, $20 an hour. That's an amazing, getting out. That was an amazing a bit of work. But as the quality of work is going up and up and up and up, and I keep trying to improve the quality of work, I brought them up to $30, and people were like, "We should have been charging this like last year." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know. I guess I coulda, but I also feel like I don't want to make the work so expensive that people that do Twitch don't make any money on it can't afford the work.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I give
Price
away
yourself
emotes
out.
every Friday. That's why I give emotes away because I like people to have art. Like that's why when I put stuff out on Twitter, I don't put 1,000
Watermarks.
like my name over the top of it and it's blurred like 1,000 times. I'm like, you gonna put this and like slap it on something? I don't care, whatever. I like art should be had. If this is something I really want to sell later on, I won't put it out on Twitter. That's why there's something new every day. But then I put out the Patreon where I make emotes for people. Like I make high quality emotes for games that are coming out. Like 10 emotes for like $10 a month.
Oh,
Because
man.
I know everybody can't afford work, so I try to make it accessible to everybody. So the pricing of my own work is the quality mark and the market standard. So typically, depending on like the company or the client or the turnaround time, that all influences the price. So that's why it says for branding packages they can be as low as 500 or as much as 2,500. You're gonna go all to get animations and all that kind of crazy stuff. It's gonna be on the higher end. You're gonna get like the name and like 4 or 5 things will be on the lower end. So I try to how much time I want to invest. I want to keep it in the range where it's still feasible in taking other work. So I can make an emote in 30 minutes, a high quality one in 30 to 45 minutes. And that should be around $30. So I'm trying to like stay in that $30-$40 range an hour, which I still have to pay a shit ton of taxes on the back end and pay for all the setups and
We'll talk after the call. I can help you out with that. It's not a problem.
yeah, fun stuff.
Yeah.
Can I give you a kidney? They're still good. Okay.
Not mine. Not mine.
My kidneys work. They're very well. Taking care of them the past few years. They've got a few dents in them.
I might be the only person in America to ever have his organ donor status on his license. Just like they said, nah, we're fine.
Revoked.
We're good.
You're not allowed. Just. Jeez. Just the
He's
whole
into a thing.
I'm just like mind blown a little bit as far as
How so?
all of the pricing, all the emotes, how you got into it. It's just almost it's a nice story, but it's one of those things like you don't necessarily think that you can do it, but then you see somebody like you do it and you're like, ah, shit, I can do this shit, but I'm right now just too damn lazy to do some of this shit. So it's like, all right.
Well, I mean,
Gotta keep going.
he was saying something earlier, and obviously, like our stories are absolutely nothing alike, he and
Right.
I. But I was thinking, just sitting here listening and thinking to myself, I was like, the only regrets I have in my life is the things I didn't try.
Mm-hmm.
And those, even now, I mean, don't get me wrong, there was a few things I didn't try that were probably on the wise side, but that's a completely different subject, and I digress. But it was like the opportunities I didn't take.
Right. Not saying
I'll
yes.
never know if that would have worked out, but like all the things, because I've said this before, like my life today is defined by my failures. But at least I know what happened by trying. So it's like I don't have that doubt in the middle. And it's like, well, if I only would have did this, it's like I have very few of those where it was like, it's like, yeah, I shot for the moon, and I fucking crashed and burned. But there's glory in that. It's like,
Right.
like at the end of the day, it's like, okay, I went into a weight class that was way higher than mine, but god damn it, they knew I was there.
Somebody's elbows got bruised.
Yeah.
Speaking
But, I mean,
of like
go ahead.
weights and everything, I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
just I love watching like you put out the art and everything, but watching your deadlifting videos are probably the things I get stuck on the most. It's just like, oh my gosh, you're doing like 600 pounds, no problem, doing a set of 4 or whatnot. When you're training, not doing the video stuff,
Mhm.
what's your set breakdown? This is like, I did PT for a little while, so I'm sitting here thinking, okay, I'm curious what you
Oh,
push yourself for.
I don't really have any goals with my lifts either. I just kind of like lift until it feels good. Like for deadlifts, I try to stay it depends on what program I'm on. I do like powerlifting all through the winter. And I
Mhm.
kind of taper off and do a power building program in the spring to summertime, and then I like did like a little bit of a bodybuilding split because I don't want to injure myself before Guardian kind of wanted to like move boxes.
Right.
Like during the winter, I do like 5 days, like a 5x5 kind of breakdown,
Mhm.
and so I do squat and deadlift and bench every single day.
Yeah. Do
And
the cores.
hmm and then like some accessory work day to day. Like I didn't curl a single weight all winter. Like I just got back into the curls like a month before GC. Like better get my arm muscles like nice
I'm
and
not even
bulky.
gonna lie, I did like the same thing.
Because powerlifting is not meant to make you look really good. Like, my gut was like, it was muscular, but it's like
Right.
nice and firm, and it's like
It's
about the
strength
same width out of my
versus
I got a
size,
strong
yeah.
core, yeah. I'd rather be
Oh,
strong
after-
because I'm not impressing anybody anymore. I've been with my lady for like 5 years. I'm not whatever.
No, like
I
after drinking
had
beer for like 5 days at Guardian Con, like literally the day after Mylan flew back to Australia, like
Oh
I
my
got up in the
gosh.
morning to like go back to work and I've been standing in front of the mirror and I'm like, I look like 175 pounds of cookie dough. What the fuck happened this past week? Just soft
Oh my
everywhere.
gosh.
feels good. I'm letting mine
Like,
just sit in a little bit more. Just let my body
I said,
relax.
my body is not used to this amount of carbs in one sitting.
Nor should it be, but the that's the gift we give ourselves when we take a day off, we take a week off. Because I mean, I grind. Some people say unreasonably hard and unreasonably, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm never doing enough. I feel like there's always something else I could be doing.
I like how you look off to the side for that one.
Yeah.
Mm.
People
It's
say you're a
almost like if he
workaholic.
was
I'm like,
making contact with somebody.
Mhm.
yeah, well, though. I don't know. I feel like I just wasted so much time not making art that I got a lot more art to put out in me. So I'm catching up.
Was there a
I'm catching
reason?
up on the interim.
Was there a reason you
Oh,
stopped doing the art, or was it just kind of like,
probably when I bought my house and I'm like, I'm going to be an adult. I bought my house when I
Yeah.
like turned 25. And
Oh God.
I've been here 12 years now. Be paid off in about 6, 7 years. So once I did that, I was like, I just started working at high school, and I was competing in martial arts, then heavy, and fighting and stuff like that. So kind of just took a backseat to like my other arts.
so? All right. Fun story. When I got up to walk away, it was because my wife texted me that one of the trees in our backyard was on fire.
On fire?
Yeah, I got hit by
Wait,
lightning.
what the fuck?
Yeah, she texted me. She's like, "Can you come up here and see this in the backyard?" And I get up
This is
there.
why I do this show.
So one of the trees in the backyard got hit by lightning and was on fire.
Oh my
Got 20 minutes of silence, kung fu, liquor, and fire. You can't see this shit anywhere else.
No, that's a high tag price in some venues. That's like seeing Rammstein like live. You gotta pay good money for that.
There you go.
We are the Rammstein of the Destiny community.
Can I break it to do?
I can't back that up. I can't.
Yeah,
Please, nobody in the chat retweet that. I can't maintain
Somebody
that
clip
stance.
that shit and post it right on his Twitter.
Fuck.
Please. Oh, great. So-
No, what I was saying is I started doing the same thing right before Guardian Con, but it wasn't like I need to get in shape. It was like I've really put off my physical therapy for like 2 years. I should probably work on this.
2 years.
Yeah, I tore my bicep and I did physical therapy for like a week and then I went back to work and just kind of forgot the stack of weights in the corner of my house. I'm like, yeah, I should probably try to even these out before people see me in 103-degree weather.
Yeah.
And now I caught the bug again. It's like, well, shit, I did that for 3 weeks and actually dropped a bunch of weight all of a sudden and got hard in a couple places. It was like, shit, I could be doing this all the time.
Yeah.
Somebody's dogs are not happy tonight.
That sounds like a Great Dane.
It is a Great Dane. It's the puppy. She's like 6 months old. She's
And she weighs 175 pounds.
Yeah. The monster. My dachshund is like having like night terrors in the slip. Don't move next to me. She's gonna freak out and her heart's gonna explode one night. I'm so scared for her.
No. We had a great
She's
Dane.
15 pounds, so.
Right.
We had a Great Dane when I was a little boy. I used to ride him around the yard like a horse when I was like 4 or 5. And the dog would just, his name was RJ. He would just roll with it. Like they have pictures of me on the back of a Great Dane. I'm like, this, I look at these pictures now. I'm like, I had horrible parents. This is so dangerous.
Yeah. I mean, the dog loves you though. You'll be fine.
Right. You survived.
Oh, Christ. So,
come on, Ryan.
Oh, this I wanted to tell this
deep.
story. I'm not digging deep. This was, so Khan has the most interesting way of becoming a guest on a podcast. So we did a raid on you 4 weeks ago.
Oh, fuck.
And all of a sudden we hear, what the fuck is Destiny Unfiltered?
That is the thing that has happened.
Yeah, lo and behold, he's here tonight.
I'll at least give this, like, I responded from, like, my Twitter. I'm like, this is my podcast. He's like, oh, yeah, I know you. I was like, okay, cool. That makes me feel better.
Literally, the first time I saw that video, I literally pulled a muscle. The Peregrine video, like, I could have felt like a tearing, like, in the lining of my rib cage. You know the term "bust a gut." Like, oh, that's hilarious. I feel like there was physical pain happening, and there was a seizure of muscles. It was like jittering on the same. Oh my god! Oh, I gotta pause. That's how funny that was.
No, but you see that's what, like, you know, that's the motivation to do what I do. Is like, I was having a conversation with one of the Bungie devs, the community leaders, and he was telling me about my video. I was like, I just want to say thank you. He's like, no, dude, it's our pleasure. You know, we really liked what you did. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. I've done finance for 17 years. YouTube revenue really doesn't impact my life in any way, shape, or form. But when you guys come and tell me stories like you tell me that I made you laugh, I'm like, that's why I do this, to make people laugh. When people send me a random YouTube comment on a video I made a year ago, and it's like, this made my day better. I'm like, you can't put a price tag on that. It's like, fuck, this is why I tell jokes. It's like, I changed a person's day. I helped their life be a little bit better by saying fuck a lot, which is even ironic and funny to me, but
unexpectedly, I didn't know what to expect. And I'm like, oh, this should be good. 30 seconds in, I'm like, what? Oh.
Blog might have put you together a little bit. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah. Perhaps.
Blog and I are each other's biggest fans. So if everyone turns on us tomorrow, it doesn't matter. We still have each other.
Oh, Log.
I'm still waiting for him to cut that track of A Man Called Cade in the Firefly soundtrack, the Firefly-like tune.
Oh.
He has not done it yet, though. Has anybody ever here seen the Firefly?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I have.
I own this.
You the song "A Man Called Jane."
Mm-hmm.
He needs to do A Man Called Cade. Yes, he needs to do that for Cade. I want the Cade version of that, and I'm gonna keep pushing his ass until he makes the song. I might just commission make a song.
Listen, I want to hear it so bad. If you push it and make the music, I'll write it and sing it myself. So we're gonna double team him in the morning.
Oh my.
A little DT action. All right.
This is fine.
I'm going back to check the fire in the backyard.
Okay, no, you should
Are
do
you
that.
serious?
The
No.
fire is still going? Oh.
No.
Oh.
You
I
guys
was
are
like,
talking
take
about,
the camera with you. Let's put it live. I
no,
want to
you
see
guys
this.
are talking about double teaming and shit. I figured I'd step out.
I mean, we're both,
We can triple
martial
team.
men. I mean,
you want to join in?
I'll stay here.
Oh, hell
I'll
no.
enjoy.
I totally feel inferior at this point in this conversation.
Green will watch.
I'll watch. I'm fine with it.
All right. Can we switch gears and do a little more Guardian Con talk? I'm going to throw this out to everybody.
Go.
Who was the most interesting people you guys met? I'd like to hear some of the fun stories of the individuals or personalities from Guardian Con. Like,
Who do you want to speak first? Because that's
anybody. You guys were all there. I wasn't. Just
I'll go first because I'm the most long-winded, and it'll be short because I'll cut myself off. TV is, and I've brought up TV before. True Vanguard is genuinely one of the nicest people you'll ever meet in your life. So if you ever get the chance to sit down and talk to him, take it full advantage of it because he's just. I ran, I got to meet a lot of people because I'm hanging with Mylan.
Mm-hmm.
So, but TV, just a genuinely good dude. So like the dude you see you're hearing his videos and see on stream, that's more or less him. And we did not talk about video games. We didn't talk about creating content. We were talking about like home security and shit.
He's
Just
your
throwing
typical
it out there.
Midwesterner.
It was
Also
like it just
a fellow Michigander.
it came up in a random conversation. I'm like, oh yeah, dude, I used to be a cop, and he was like, sit down, have a scotch with me.
Oh my.
But MTash, believe it or not, like, because I legitimately talked to MTash for like 30 seconds, and then he found me the next day, and it's like he knew who I was, he knew my name, and he walked me from the entrance of the convention all the way till the time he stepped up on the stage to do the live broadcast. So I just thought it was really cool. It's like this dude literally talked to me for 30 seconds. It's like, hey Rick, how you doing? And I was like, who the fuck? Oh, hi. But no, and I've not hid this that like Sarah Daniels, who I had no idea.
That was amazing.
I had no idea who Sarah Daniels was. I fully exposed myself, but like just randomly, I'm like, yeah, it's a little girl wearing a shiny, sparkly dinosaur dress. And her and I just hit it off for 2 days, and it was amazing. It was just amazing. Oh, we just the level of people that we messed with in tandem is legend.
The Shaxx helmet incident.
All of them.
All of them.
It's like, well, here, I'll real quick, and then I'll shut up and let you guys talk. So I kept messing with Bianchi from Bungie to let me wear the Shaxx helmet, and it started off as like a sincere request, and he very politely declined me and gave me all the reasons. But I kept messing with him for 2 days. So then I meet Sarah, who I don't know who Sarah is. And she is like, hey, how you doing? And like the next day she walked into me telling the story of me trying to get the Shaxx helmet. And she just walked up and is listening to me tell these people, and she became offended. She's like, well, I want to wear the Shaxx helmet. I'm like, well, and we just kind of fed off of each other. To finally the crescendo at the end of the night, it's like 1:30 a.m. in the hotel bar, and like Bungie is shut down. They're all hanging out and saying thank you to everybody and meeting everybody. And she goes, I'm really short. Bianchi can't see me. So you walk straight towards him. I'm going to duck down. And when I poke you, you move out the way. So I'm like, hey, B, how you doing? Hey, what you doing? I brought you something. And I step out the way, and Sarah Daniels pops up in her dinosaur dress and goes, give me the motherfucking Shaxx helmet, B. And that like 30 seconds of her and I just like feeding off each other. And all of a sudden Deej appears out of nowhere and goes, you two meeting each other is either going to be really interesting in the future or just a fucking tragedy. And just walked off back into the darkness and disappeared. But I mean, there was just like a lot of people, like just people that aren't anybody that are fans that, they want to meet you. They want to shake your hand. They want to give you a hug. Like I held Elmer Fudd's ass.
Oh my God, Fudd. Ugh.
and he held mine, and it was beautiful, and his wife was okay with it. So I mean, how do
She
you
was there the whole time.
quantify that level of male bonding? You can't. That transcends everything. But I'm going to shut up now and let somebody else speak. So go.
I met Moonvald for the first time face to face, and Moonvald had a very nice dance with Rick at karaoke the first night that we were there.
These are lies.
These are not lies. I saw
I
it with
don't
my
dance.
eyes. Yes, you did, and it was a beautiful slow dance. Where
This
I
is
don't know
fun.
who was leading because Moon is taller than Rick. But it was beautiful, and she is
Probably
a beautiful,
true.
yeah, she was a beautiful person. But she was really really sweet to get to know actually a little bit more, as well as the two Bungie devs I got to talk with quite a bit. Danny, who is he's like a quality control kind of guy. He makes sure that everything runs smoothly, and he checks all that kind of stuff. And we talked to Gambit for an hour and a half at karaoke, screaming over whoever was singing, sitting right there. That was really cool. And then John Toe, the writer that was on the lore panel with us, was the most humble person, even and quiet. He rates the Shax's lines in Crucible, like all those ones where he's yelling. This tiny, like he's not a very big guy. Tell me how you really feel, Rick. But
Did I hear
He said Shax, and I got excited. I
yeah,
apologize.
he may have like bumped the crap out of everything, but he was really cool to talk to as far as just getting to know his story with writing Drifter, writing Shax, writing, getting on board with writing everything for Bungie, because they're so stinking passionate beyond what you could possibly imagine. Somebody who loves their job, they just absolutely love everything that they're doing. Short-winded, passing of the ball on.
I guess that'd be me.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Probably the most shocking experience I had was at the bar the second night.
I'm sorry.
No, that was the first night.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah. That was expected.
As it should have been.
The second, I took a picture of it and I tweeted about like little my little brain that couldn't handle like the pressure would just happen. So everyone knows DMG from Twitter, he's one of the community managers. I go, he's turned his back, he's at the bar or something. He's talking to him. I was like, hey, how's it going? And I touch his back and he turns around and he's like, I love your stuff. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute, hey. And I feel like I was like, I didn't say hello, I didn't say it before you know my name. He was like, you kind of like, I love your art. He's like, we take a picture together. I was like, yes, keep doing what you're doing. I was like, oh, okay. I got to like calm my breathing down because I've been, everyone tags DMG in like every single post that about Destiny they tag him in. Like, oh, this guy, he gets tagged 40,000 times a day. Go over and say hello. And when he turns around and says that, and it's exclamatory. It's not like, hey man, I love your stuff. He turns on, his eyes get big, and he says, I love your stuff. And I'm like, so that was the most like interesting experience I had the entire like weekend. Outside of that, I think I don't know. I think everybody that does like Destiny or is a larger Destiny streamer or person that does it, I think they're just I think I've met them all in the past few years, so it's exciting to see my friends again because they say I can call them friends because I send them payments every week. But it's been nice. It's been nice. I don't think anybody like super like has that I haven't met before. Probably I wanted to well I met Shackles. She has like it was a very short like interaction. She was really nice, so that was probably my second one. Meeting Shackles was really nice.
She's so tiny.
Yeah. I almost didn't recognize who she was because she didn't introduce herself as Shackles. I just saw her eyes. I was like,
oh. Yeah, her eyes like burn through your soul.
I tweeted about they're the most beautiful eyes I've ever seen in my. I had to show my girlfriend afterwards. Like, look at those eyes. Look at them. You touched me in here. So those are probably the two. But I met Glad for the first time. I did some work for Glad before. Like I've done work for MTASH and TV and I got to meet Bife. Well, I've seen Bife 3 times. I never go up and say hello to him, but he stopped me in the hallway because him and Meki are really good friends. Everybody knows Meki as Faisal Meki. He's in the DCA.
Wait, Meki was at
No,
GrnEyed?
Bife
Oh,
introduced
okay.
himself to me. Like we were in the same hallway together.
Oh,
Like,
no,
oh,
I was
you're
like, I
friends with-
missed
you're friends
Meki.
with
No, I was about to
No.
get like really pissed off. I'm like, I missed Faisal. What the fuck?
You did not miss him. We're gonna
Okay.
like me and Bife like plotted on like kidnapping him and just bringing him over the plane.
I'm gonna go back to shutting up now. Continue.
I'm just gonna raise some money and get Meki over. We're gonna just make Meki come to GC next year. I'm gonna go over there and kidnap him before GC. I'm gonna fly over to UK, stay a week, and then put him in my bag and bring him back. Those are the 2 options. We were talking about Meki in the hallway. Me talking to Bife for a little bit. That was a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, nothing too crazy. Meeting everybody that comes to my stream, that was probably like the highlight. People that they're your stream, but Mercedes, that's awesome. Thank you so much. So those are the nicer parts. Yeah, I think that's it.
So, out of the 3 of you,
I know.
who got the farthest
Right.
in the competition they had going on?
The Crucible thing?
Yeah, the Crucible thing. I know Rick screwed up and left his coin at home or some shit, so.
I only got in line once.
Yeah, and her and I played together.
Yeah.
And I left my coin at home, and I was absolutely not allowed to have another coin on the slide. Like, day 2 is like, if you had a coin, you could go right back in and do like the risk or reward match. So I walked over to one of the Bungie employees. I'm like, dude, listen, I left my coin at home last night. Can you just like give me a coin so I can get back in with my friends? He's like, absolutely fucking not. I'm like, really? He goes, dude, if someone in this crowd sees me give you a coin, there will be a riot. Do you understand this? I'm like, now that you said it out loud, yes, I'm gonna go back over there and not take a coin from you now.
Is that because they knew
But
they
it's
were
like-
going for? At one point, I saw they were going for as much as 100,000 on eBay.
Yeah.
Huh?
That,
Yeah,
Like
100,000.
what?
That
Like
was-
rupees, dinar? I mean, is this like American dollars?
yeah, it was not uncommon to see them for $300 a pop on eBay,
No, I'm not
as
kidding.
well as even higher.
You said 100,000.
100,000
Yeah,
is
yeah.
what they were
like
what they were going for. Like, actually, I know one sold at that price.
the common price, it seemed like, was a little bit lower, but yeah, it was ridiculous. I know at least that Infested Potato, one of our guys who went in with us, with Rick and I, he went back in with the comp group and lost to Glad, because as you do, and pretty sure that Glad gave him his heavy duty, whatever it was, the emblem thing.
100K, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't leave the booth, so I've been trading stickers. So
Listen, if you can get my medallion bought for 100K, I will totally split the profits with you because I do not know how to work eBay.
I only got the simple, like the I got 2 of the snake ones. I don't have like the
Dragon
fancy.
coin.
Yeah,
Oh, well, shit.
yeah. I was just like,
Mylan got one and he didn't even play.
What?
Oh. Really?
Mylan has a very strong fan base, apparently.
Yeah, he does.
Well, he used to be the CEO of Activision, so.
There is that.
Do you not? If you listen to the DDU, that's their running joke. Was there an anti-Activision sentiment running around the Bungie employees, or were they not really indulging in that?
I
The
don't think
employees?
anyone
No,
said
probably not.
anything about it.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No,
Because
all
they're a company. That's they probably like no one say anything like that. Please don't embarrass us on the
Well,
road.
I
Well,
would-
even so, I don't think they would necessarily. I didn't even hear any of the con-goers say stuff like that. Really.
Well, that was my question. This is the first time Bungie's really been out since the breakup with Activision, so I thought maybe it'd be a topic.
Oh, there was some stuff. There were some things said.
But those are things not to be repeated on the air.
No.
So all right. So when we end the podcast, we got to hang out for a few minutes.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
All right.
But no, I mean, like like in general, everyone was just there to have a good time, make sure everybody had a good time, that everything was organized.
Mm-hmm.
But well, like Boop's hanging out, and I'm gonna brag for a minute. So like Morla that plays Eris,
Oh, Morla was amazing to meet.
well, I left them alone because they had their own shindig with Morla that I was not invited to. So I'm like, I'll be in the pit trying to get in the Crucible. So I'm still drunk. I'll see you.
That was at 10 a.m. too.
Or
Yeah.
are we
Mhm.
surprised that he was drunk at 10 a.m. or are you surprised that he was functional at 10
I
a.m.?
don't understand your I don't understand your
Yes.
connotation.
Yeah.
Yes.
But regardless, moving on. So it was later that evening. I happened to get introduced to her on accident, and we grew up about 10 miles from each other in New Orleans.
Mhm.
And sat there and talked to her about everything but Destiny or gaming or anything. Just talked about, did you ever eat here? You know this person? Do you know this family? You know this? And I probably sucked out like 45 minutes of her lifespan. And she's like, well, I have to go talk to some other people. And Boop is standing next to me the whole time, in which I didn't get to spend. I sent him an apology. Like the day Guardian kind of was like, I'm sorry, I didn't get to spend more time with you. But I'm like, he's standing there and he's just being so like,
Mhm.
hanging out because he doesn't want to really like impose on anyone. And I'm like, before you go, this is our friend Sean. And because Mylan's standing right next to me, I go, he is a huge fan of yours. Can you give him 5 minutes? And she's like, absolutely. And she's like, hi, Sean. And he was just sitting here. He just looked at me. He's like, what did you just do to me?
Mhm.
But you can
You're
pull it
welcome.
off in a convention.
Yeah.
So, all right. Trying to think if there's any real final questions that Green. You got anything else that you wanted to ask since you were so happy to volunteer your time for tonight?
I mean, the stories and everything as far as Khan getting to where he is now, and just the philosophy, the life philosophy. That was what I wanted to hear.
What I want, Con, when you write your book, I get an autographed copy.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I'll buy it, but
I'll send you one for free. I mean,
I think the title of
I
your
mean, I'll drive up to your house and pick it up. I mean, that's fine.
That's also
I
an
got
option.
this.
You're so close.
Yeah.
So I know the title of your book being it's like, you don't even understand what motivation is. The title of your book should be, I was going to do that shit anyway.
Yep, basically. I was gonna do that shit anyway. An autobiography.
Well, okay, so I have to do some announcements before we wrap it up and get the fuck out of here because I don't even know how long we've been running because
This version of the podcast we've been going in an
Cyberspace.
hour and 22 minutes.
that is about our limit and let's call it there. But, okay, some announcements. Before we do our exit strategy. So I every 2 months or so, I put up a tweet and I ask if, anybody would like to be on the podcast, please send me a message. And it's a 2-month block, which is 8 to 10 weeks, depending how the moon is in the 7th house and age of Aquarius and all this type of thing. But I digress. So in trying to fill 8 spots, and I stopped counting yesterday, between DMs and the responses on Twitter, I had 107 people express interest to be on the show.
Mhm.
So I just want to say, firstly, thank you so much for wanting to be on the show. And like I said, genuinely, it doesn't matter the size of your audience. You don't have to be a huge streamer or personality to be on the show. That being said, it is physically fucking impossible for me to accommodate 107 of you. Plus, because my phone I turned off because it keeps beeping. But I've reached out to a few of you already. I'm going to close out September. But we've got a mix of everybody. We have a lot of you who, if you do not make it for this next little 2-month run, please don't feel discouraged. Please don't feel slighted. I know what it's like to throw your hat into the ring and feel like it's ignored. It has not been ignored. I've read every tweet, every DM, everything personally. At the very least, put a heart on it just to know that that I read it.
And
But
please throw your hat in the ring the next time we put the post up.
no, absolutely. But there's parts of Destiny I didn't know about. There's a dude that sent me a message on my way home from work. He's making a tabletop game for Destiny.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
have that. It's so good.
I'm like, wait, what? I
It's
didn't even know this was like a fucking thing.
Yeah.
I didn't
They
even
had
do
a
tabletop
booth.
in D&D, but that's a whole fucking. Well, listen, you're
They
lucky
had-
I could find my own booth at fucking Guardian Con.
I didn't have a booth.
There's a lot of
didn't?
confusion right there.
I thought Bife was in my chair. I feel slightly embarrassed and owe him an apology now.
Mhm.
But I digress. But no, like artists, people that works in different mediums, stuntmen.
Mhm.
Ooh.
I mean, people who write original fiction. So
You just
if
gave
you like,
you just gave Khan a goal. He was gonna be a
Oh,
Destiny
no.
stuntman. Did you
I
see his
was-
eyes light up?
no, this
You want to hear a
way-
funny story?
Go.
Before we do-
Sure.
You know Six Flags amusement park?
When it was here before they kicked it
Yeah.
out of Ohio, yeah. The
Yeah,
old
I
Drug
was
Lake.
hired as a stuntman before they closed down. Batman the water show.
This cannot
As a
be a
stuntman.
drinking game. He's done everything.
Oh no, I didn't actually start the job, so it's not as. But I was hired as one.
I mean, were you gonna be Bane? I mean,
Oh, it was like I was gonna be a henchman. I was gonna be like one of Riddler's henchmen. I was written like it was one of the
this
parts
is a
like that.
stereotype. I highly object to this.
He should have been Batman for Christ's sakes.
You could have been Killer Croc.
You know
could have
what?
been a lot of people.
People said I have the jaw line for Batman, but Batman is not, and I can't believe Black Batman. That's got to be a different story altogether.
Batman is not what?
He's not black.
Why can we not
Why-
have a black Batman?
That
I'm not saying you can't have a black Batman, but if we're selling tickets to the Batman show, it's like Black Santa Claus. It's a novel idea, but it's not what you expect when you show to bring your kid up to Santa Claus.
Your Honor, what's wrong with the
Expectations
Black
are broken.
Annie?
Just saying.
I mean-
Saying. I'm selling tickets.
My
I'm the only one that
my
watched
biggest
Boston
gripe
Legal.
about
This
you
is fine.
playing Batman would be you'd have to shave.
Oh no, I didn't have a beard then. This is like, this is 2005, 2000.
Oh yeah, they've been gone for a while.
Yeah, it's been a long. They've been going quite
No.
some time.
My beef is you're actually way too large to be Batman.
I was fighting weight. I was like 180, 175. This is not me at
No,
fighting
no.
weight. I did not fight at this. I will get my ass handed to me this weight. I am so slow. So
Bro,
slow.
Bro, you can roll. Don't. Okay, wait. All right.
I
So
can
we're
roll.
gonna talk
I'm
about
not-
fighting for a minute. Bro, you can roll. Stop.
Oh no, not in the ring. No, I'm done. It's just I couldn't. This is not my body weight to be on that.
Part of me
I'm-
wants to see both Mylan and Khan fight because I know Mylan used to do MMA.
I'm 42 years old. I'll roll with him.
I'm done.
He's got much more weight with me.
I'm retired.
Which is a polite way of saying I will fuck you up.
I don't want any lawsuits.
I will sign. As you can tell from my Twitter, I write all of the waivers.
When you said stuntman, I was like, I gotta tell him about this. He's not gonna believe this.
Oh yeah, here's another job that I did.
I didn't get to do it though. That was the sad
Almost,
part.
almost.
He didn't get the part, but he auditioned. There's no regrets there.
He got
That goes
the
back
part.
to what I was saying earlier.
He got the part.
You know what? If I talk any more about my past, you're not gonna believe this guy is full of shit.
That's every day
He
of
is
my
a
life,
pathological
bro.
liar.
No, this is a safe fucking place because I,
mean,
don't even
the
believe
rate
you
is
sometimes.
Okay, do you know how I got the audition?
You were sleeping with one of the casting directors.
No, I was training as a pro wrestler in downtown Cleveland at Cleveland All Pro.
My version was cooler, but yours is probably true.
That's true. So me and another buddy who was in pro wrestling, we went down and we did a couple maneuvers from the ring, and they were like, "Oh man, this would be great on stage."
What the fuck was I talking about before we got off track? Oh,
You were
anyway.
signing
Signing
off.
up.
No, I was
Signing off.
doing the thing. I was
Signing
doing the
off.
politician thing. Okay, Fuda
You were
cool.
politicking. I'm just derailing this motherfucker as much as I can.
No, anyways, no, everybody, thank you so much. It is overwhelming the amount of interest, like genuinely, because when me and Ryan started this shit earlier this year, we fully expected to be talking to like me and Ryan.
I thought it was your first guest. Are you a liar? What's going on here? I thought it
I
was your inaugural guest.
I was a pre-law major, so I don't even know what I lie about anymore, to be honest with you. But that's neither here nor there. The second thing I want to say is, so this is a money thing. So Ryan and I are starting a Patreon. It has nothing to do with income. It has nothing to do with production costs for the show. It has nothing to do with all that. It is for the express sole purpose of next year's Guardian Con, helping us get there and cover some of the things we would like to do. And, or because we don't know if Bungie's going to be at Guardian Con. So let me put it like this. If Bungie's at Guardian Con next year, we're going to Guardian Con. If Bungie is not at Guardian Con, they're going to PAX East, PAX Australia, wherever. This is what we're raising money for. We're going to the next major Bungie event. But we would like to set up a booth. We'd like to do live broadcasts, but we want to share our booth with some of the people in the community who might not necessarily have a booth. So people who are the B and C listers who maybe members of their community want to meet them. Maybe they can need an hour. They want to meet their community. They want to do a meet and greet. They want to do a live broadcast of their own. They want to sit down with us and talk shit for an hour. We'll do a fucking pre-recorded video and air it later on. If the fucking Australians make it over, we'll just turn it over to Log Sloth and Mylan, and we'll just show up, bring beer, and refuel them occasionally, whatever.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call them the B and C listers. We'll just call them the other A listers.
This is a better term, but it's ambiguous. But I like it. But it's just something we thought about doing because it's not terribly expensive, first and foremost. But there's a lot of people who would like to meet Green, for example. There's a lot of people who would like to talk to Blue. There's a lot of people who would like to hang out with Elmer.
I mean, Con's way too big for us, so he won't be stopping by.
No, you can't even like see him from where I'm standing anymore. Right. It's just like it's like looking into the sun. That Hugh Jackman gift. I hope I did the face right because I wasn't even looking at myself.
I like the side eye you're getting to. Just saying.
But so we're gonna start a Patreon, but it's not for us. Yeah, is it gonna help Ryan haul his big fat ass down from Ohio and bring in all of his computers and gear? Yes, but we're gonna share the time. We're gonna share the time with other people in the community that have a fan base that is not big enough to sustain them getting a booth necessarily, if that makes sense. Am I saying this good? Well
enough.
More or less.
Goodwill.
Yeah,
I understand what you're saying.
I don't do sentimental because Titan.
I understand what you're saying, but also we had this conversation before the podcast.
But that's neither here nor there. Khan's a hunter. I didn't bring that up because moving on.
I'm a hunter. Hey.
Yeah, but this is disclosed, and he is much larger than me, and he knows kung fu. So, hunter was logical choice. I mean,
right.
I get that all the time. You're what? What? I'm very crafty. So crafty.
No, I mean kung fu hunter. What the hell else you gonna be? I mean, so in my mind, like hunters are like you and Danfinity. So congratulations, you made it to the hunter. It's not even a triumvirate. I gotta find a third one. That's neither here nor there. Not yet. You are a slide shotgunning scumbag and should be a Titan, and you are just in denial. So this is a you problem.
You've already converted one lore master. You do not need to convert another.
Slide shotgunning. Who was that?
That's me.
Oh, so nasty.
Yeah, I like to get dirty.
All right, let's wrap this shit up.
Somebody else wrap this up because I've talked for the last 10 minutes. Khan, wrap it up.
Khan, where the hell can people find you on the internets?
You can find me on the internets 7 nights a week at twitch.tv/YUNGKHAN, on Twitter, YUNG_KHN because the other ones don't exist for some reason. Or my website, conartist.org. I promise I will not steal your money. I promise.
Green, what about you?
At Focus Fire Chat is one place, or GrnEyedMusikLvr on Twitter. We also have the Lore Network, unfiltered.com, which is our Focus Fire Chat lore, gaming lore, freaking She-Ra lore, Transformer lore, whatever you're into. We've kind of got that going on that website.
Wait, there's Hordak lore?
There's
Yeah,
all sorts of
I
lore.
am so looking this up as soon as we get off of this.
Yeah,
You don't have to look it up. She's literally sitting right.
I'm gonna go
fuck
read the
here.
fucking
I mean-
website when we're done.
She
Yeah.
has fucking links. We know Baxter, for fuck's sake. Sit down and shut the fuck up.
There's also Baxter, but yeah. Twitter is the main place to follow me, or you can find me on Discord at any point in the day.
All right, Rick.
I will be here until next Tuesday, sitting staring at this camera aimlessly, waiting for your presence to arrive. I have no shame in this. I also make some YouTube things. So anyway, if you would like to follow me, I am at man_at_arms 2112, like the Rush album. I make YouTube videos on occasion. I'm doing one now. It's gonna be weird. Go with it.
Is
But
this the
until-
Titan one? Is this
Shut the fuck up, Lisa.
I mean, it is a Titan thing.
Bye, Felicia. Anyways, yeah, no, Boozoo in the chat. I'm gonna call you out on the audio replay on this. Yeah, we don't have any commands because I don't know how to program that shit. But that's just for you, Boozoo, because I love you. Sweet Sulfur Korean goddess. Anyways, moving on.
Should we like play the
next week?
winding up music now? Should we like play them off like we're on the award show?
I would really love to hear like the Kill Bill when Lucy Liu is walking down the hallway with all her gangsters. That'd be like the ultimate sign out music, but I don't think we could get past the Twitch copyright shit. But that's neither here nor there. Anyways, next week, Mr. Boop Cannon. If you don't know him, yeah, you should come up next week. Until then, say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good
Yeah.
night.
Good night.